guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is kind of going to be looking back in the past decade. I thought that this was perfect timing with 2020. Literally, I swear, like a week and a half away. I'm just so excited to see, and I figured out some really cool information and some really cool facts about the past decade. So we're going to look back on baby names for the past decade and what's to come for the future between 2020 and 2030. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. We love to have you. And if this isn't your first time here, welcome back to another one of our baby name videos today. So over the past decade, we've seen a big rise in like gender neutral baby names, or baby names that are a little bit more masculine but still have that kind of strong female touch to it. So for example, like the name Oakley, Rain, and as well as Lennox. Lots of parents have been gearing more towards unique baby names as well, trying to get out of the book, out of the top 10 baby names, and really trying to look at more like inspiration from pop culture, from nature, from places, and also from just random invented names as well. So for example, like Creed, Nova, Winter, Magnolia, or even Brixton. Another thing that's been really popular lately has been shorter, more one syllable or even two syllable names. So for example, like Ace, Crew, Axel, Fox, Liv, all more shorter 3-4 letters kind of maximum names that are really simple but super kind of edgy. Also, lots of parents have been looking back at previous names back like in the 1900s for kind of inspiration and names that could feel fresh again. For example, a really big one right now that is on the rise is the name Pearl for a girl, or even Maisie. So lots of kind of those old-fashioned kind of retro vintage baby names that are in the past have been kind of making light. And I actually have a video in the next week and a half or so for vintage retro baby names that I'll be doing for you guys, since I did get quite a few requests on that. So I will touch on some really cool vintage names that will be making a comeback, or kind of unpopular and not on the top 10 or top 100s that definitely need to make a comeback in this next decade, which I hope. Yeah, so lots of really big changes, kind of almost dictionary inspired type names that they've been trying to get out. Parents have been really steering away from trying to name their kids names that are in those top 10, even top 100 baby names currently right now and in the past decade, whereas opposed to in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and even in the 80s, 30% of the population was generally named a baby name that is in actually the top 10 or even the top 20 baby name spot on the list. So that's nuts. The top baby names have been changing so frequently in the past 10 years that every single year has been very different, where in back of more of like the beginning of the 1900s, mid 1900s, it was a lot of the same name repetitively over and over and over again, especially for boys. So like the Michaels, the Toms, Frank, John, just those simple names. But now parents are really trying to steer away from those top spots and really thinking outside of the box. Okay, so listen to this. So around 163,000 babies were named the name Noah in the years between 2010 and 2020, which is so crazy. And close behind was the name Liam. And previously, so between the years 2000 and 2010, the most popular name was actually the name Jacob, and the name Jacob was named to 274,000 babies. So that's a big drop for how many babies were named the name Noah to the name Jacob, even though they're both holding the top spot in the decade. And the really most surprising one is back another decade before that, between the years 1990 and 2000. So between that year, the most popular name between that year was the name Michael, and that name was given to over 462,000 babies. So it's almost been cutting in half as the decades have been going on, and it's kind of cool because now lots of babies are having so many different types of names as opposed to just going with the regular top spot or even the top 10 or even the top 100. And a lot of parents have been gearing towards even the top 1,000. So that was some really cool info that I got, and I thought I would really share it with you guys. For the girls, the top spot between 2010 and 2020 is the name Emma, and close after that is Sophia, Olivia, and Isabella. And then the decade before that, between 2000 and 2010, 2010, most popular girl's name was the name Emily, and then close behind was Madison. And then for the year before that, between 1990 and 2000, the top baby name that was named is Jessica, and close behind was Ashley. So it's been really cool looking at all these baby names. So now I'm gonna be giving you guys 5 girl names and 5 boy names that are on trend to becoming popular between the years of 2020 and 2030. The very first girl's name that I have on the list here is the name Stella, and that is kind of derived back in even the early 1900s. There was little girls that were named this and slowly started picking real big speed in 2015. It's only becoming even more popular. People have been gearing towards more shorter baby names, and Stella is actually a shorter form of the name Estelle. So Stella is definitely gonna be one of those big boomers in the next decade. So the first name on the boy side that has been really up and coming is the name Cain, so spelled C-A-I-N. It's originated from one of the 2 sons of Adam and Eve, and it is one of those more shorter baby names, so it's very short, very clean. It has a really nice ring to it. So Cain is definitely on up and coming rise in the next decade. So for all the Disney fans, the next girl's name here is the name Aurora. So Aurora is on the rise. It is so beautiful. I just feel like it has such a powerful kind of aura to it. Aurora. With Disney Plus just kind of starting out now, I feel like it's just gonna be more up and coming for all the Disney princesses. I can already picture this happening. So Aurora is actually the name of Sleeping Beauty. So obviously all the Disney fans, yes. And I know a couple girls that are named Aurora. One of the daughters of one of the YouTubers is named Aurora. I just think it's just so gorgeous. It's very pretty, and it sounds really powerful, strong for such a female name. This next name and second name for the boys is more of a pop culture name. Definitely pop culture names are in the rise, band names, everything like that, and that is the name Lennon. So obviously after John Lennon from the Beatles, Lennon is such an upcoming name. It's gender neutral. It has such a cool kind of flair to it, and it's definitely big on the rise, and it's definitely going to be one of the more popular names for this upcoming decade. I can already see it, especially for boys. So this next name, girl name number 3, is the name Hadley. So Hadley's a southern girl's name meaning heather field. It's more of an uncommon form of like Haley. So lots of people again have been looking at baby names that have been popular that they really do enjoy, but kind of making them their own or adding their own twist to them. So Hadley is the next name that is definitely going to be upcoming for these next few years. So this next name for the boy side is actually a name from the Harry Potter series, and that is the name Seamus. So Seamus is obviously Seamus Finnegan. Harry Potter characters in general have been, the names have been so popular recently as well. I've actually heard of a few different characters off of a bunch of different series have one of the characters named Seamus, and it's actually Irish originated. I can already tell that Seamus is going to be popular in the next decade. I've seen it on quite a few recent popular baby names lists, so I already know that people are going to be seeing this name and starting to see it more places than before. So this next name I've kind of already mentioned at the beginning of this video, but names back in the 1900s have been really kind of coming to light, and this name is the name Pearl. Pearl, Willa, Beatrice are on the rise for this upcoming decade. They're really trying to get those vintage kind of retro-y baby names kind of come to light to make them obviously feel more fresh again. And so the name Pearl has a really nice meaning innocence and modesty, and I think that would just be such a pretty little baby girl's name. So the next name is actually from Gone with the Wind. It's a southern character, and that is the name Rhett. Definitely in the past couple months, and for sure in the future, I can definitely see Rhett becoming super popular. I already see it. It's a 5-letter word, but only has 1 syllable, and that is really popular right now, those short sounding 1-syllable names. So Rhett is that one for the boys list. And the last one for the girls list that I have is Azaria. At first I was like, I've never heard of this name, but when I looked at the definition and why it's on the rise, I understand. So for a nickname, you can nickname her Aria, which is so popular right now. I feel like a lot of little baby girls are named Aria, especially after the Pretty Little Liars series that I'm so obsessed with. One of the main characters is Aria, and I just think it's such a pretty name, very short form, but people have been making those more popular trendy names right now more unique by adding on A's, especially Z's are really popular right now. The name Azaria actually has a beautiful meaning in Hebrew, and that is help of God, and that is just such a pretty name. I love the length of it. It's a little bit more longer than obviously the regular one syllable words, but it's just so pretty. A very, very, very pretty name, and anything with the beginning letter A or Z have definitely been on the rise. So this last name on the list that are upcoming and trendy baby names that are definitely trending to be in the top-notch spots for the 2020 to 2030 decade is the name Destin. So Destin is definitely destined to be on this list. Obviously a shorter form of destiny, and that has been so popular to be shortening those really powerful names. It's very modern, very fresh, and has that really cool kind of feel to it. Destin, I feel like it could be either a boy or a girl. Destin is a really great alternative to the regular popular names like Dustin, Dusty, or even the name Justin. So those are the baby names that I have for you. 5 baby girl names, 5 baby boy names that are definitely on trend to becoming very popular names in the upcoming decade. And please comment down below any names that maybe I have missed, or any cool names that you guys think are going to be really trendy for this next upcoming decade. Make sure your guys' bell notifications are on, and make sure you guys are subscribed. I have a really cool kind of unique and rare vintage retro old-fashioned kind of baby names video, which is so suited for this because those are baby names that are definitely up and trending right now. So make sure you guys are on the lookout. I'll have it out next week for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you guys, and I will see you guys in our next baby names video.